Chapter 27. Logan's POV. "How can something like that happen?" my father yelled in distress as he pulled his hair. "We were home the whole time. How didn't any of us sense anything?" Jake said in the same depressed tone, and they were right. If someone was able to enter the pack house, go to my room, turn it upside down, and even leave a note on the wall, all that and no one felt anything, then there was no doubt that we were, and our families were all in danger. The thought made my blood boil, but then worry and anger filled my body at the thought of someone hurting Eva. As soon as my eyes landed on the bloody threat, I quickly picked her up and ran downstairs to keep her with the rest. It was best if she wasn't alone, either with me or with my family. I made sure that all the girls were safe in my parents' room, with 4 of my warriors guarding the room, and the twins with them inside until I went to discuss what happened with my father, our betas, thirds, and the guards that were on patrol. "We swears, sir, we didn't sense anyone crossing our territory. No suspicious scents and no unnatural movements," one of the guards said, worry and panic lacing his words. My father sighed. "They even went unnoticed right under our own noses, too," he said solemnly. I felt his gaze turn towards me. "What do you think, Logan? You didn't utter a single word since the beginning of the meeting." His father snapped my gaze from the red carpet on the floor to the eyes. "Inside job," I replied in monotone. "What?" "It was an inside job. Obviously, we have a spy," I explained. My father let out a deep, audible sigh. "This is worse than I thought," he muttered. "There was no use sitting here cursing at whoever did this. We have to go find that spy in order to protect our mates and pack members." Just the thought of something happening to Eva made my wolf want to take over and rip everyone to shreds. A knock on the door snapped all our attention towards it. "Come in," my father's stern reply. One of the guards currently on duty came in. He bowed his head in acknowledgement and respect. "Sir, the king is asking for permission to enter our lands." This perked up our attention even more, and I saw my father's eyebrow rise to his hairline. "Of course. Let him through immediately," my father said. The guard nodded and left the room. "What would the king want for him to come all the way over here?" Taylor asked, making my head snap in his direction. "I don't know, but we're sure about to find out," I replied as I followed my father outside the office and down the stairs. As soon as we reached the entrance, we were met by King Luther, his beta Jason, his third Bill, and a lot of his royal guards. "So you think that going to war would be the best option?" I asked King Luther as I held the threatening letters he received from that King Maxwell. "I don't want my people to go into war. I only want to protect my daughter," he replied with a sigh and a head shake. "She's the only one I have left after her older sister left." He said that last part with a restrained voice and distant look in his eyes. "Anyways, I just want you to help me protect my daughter. My warriors aren't as strong as yours, and I think that with your men joining forces, we'll be able to win over Maxwell easily," he told my father and I. I sighed. If he asked me to do this about 2 months ago, I would have agreed along with my dad without a doubt. But now, there was Eva, and I don't think that she's ready for something so big yet. The call on this should be hers. "King Luther, with all due respect, I, of course, would love to help you and protect the princess, but I just found my mate, and I don't know if she's ready for a war between another whole kingdom of werewolves," I said, my voice unconsciously rising up a bit at the end. You found your mate?" King Luther asked in astonishment. I nodded. "Congratulations, my son! That's amazing!" he said with a wide smile, making me smile in return as I remembered my date with Eva. "I don't mind," a soft, angelic voice said, pulling all our attention to the source, which happened to be my one and only mate. She was standing at the top of the stairs, looking directly at us. "Eva," I said in a low tone as I rose from my seat and walked towards her. "Why did you leave the room?" I asked in concern. "I heard your conversation. Your rooms aren't really that soundproof," she replied, making me chuckle a bit at her sarcasm. Her words made the thought that's been swirling in my mind resurface. I've been thinking about buying Eva a house to call our own. It'd be near the pack house, and we'll have it whichever and however way she wanted. But then, what she really said settled in. "You don't mind what, baby?" I asked in confusion. "For us to help King Luther and his daughter," she replied, making my eyebrows furrow at her. "Eva, do you understand what this means? This is war, baby girl. I don't want you getting hurt, king or not," I told her sincerely. Her lips stretched across her face, her smile gentle and heartwarming. "I know, Logan, but we'll be fine. If it was us that were in trouble, we would be hoping even for the smallest ray of hope," she explained. "Plus, this would be my chance to prove to myself and everyone that I'm not just a weak human." "You're talking as if you'd be fighting with us," I mumbled with a roll of my eyes. "Yes, I will." Her words made my eyes widen. "No, Eva," I said sternly. "No way in hell am I letting you fight." She frowned at me for the first time, and I didn't like it. I didn't want to fight with her, but if it involves her safety, I wasn't stepping down. "Crystal!" King Luther's voice cut through, making me turn my head towards him, and for Eva to look him straight in the eye. Crystal? That was Eva's birth name, the one her parents gave her. How the hell does King Luther know it? "I beg your pardon?" I asked. "Crystal, is it really you?" he said, his eyes never leaving Eva's face. My wolf and I didn't like it. King Luther started walking towards her slowly, like he was afraid that with any sudden movement Eva would disappear. I stood in front of Eva protectively as King Luther approached. "How do you know my mate?" I asked, looking deep into his eyes. "I know it's disrespectful, but you can't blame me, though. This guy is acting like some lunatic." Your mate?" he asked in shock. "Yes," I replied in confidence. "How do you know her?" I asked again as I crossed my arms across my chest, trying my best to intimidate him. "How do you expect me not to know my own granddaughter?"